Hi beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having an awesome day, and today we're going to do a get ready with me video. I figured I would just chit chat talk to you guys about life while I get ready for today. We have a couple things to do today as far as errands go, and I figured we could just get ready together. I feel like that's something fun to do. I like doing it, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to prime my face with the Item Beauty spray primer because I'm lazy and I don't put my fingers in a regular primer. Quite frankly. I feel like a spray primer is just so easy. I love it. Anyways, let's talk about some stuff. So today, I'm gonna go house hunting again. This is like the most miserable thing in the world. It's miserable, but as you can see, I try to dress like an adult when I go see houses and stuff, just in case, because some of the houses we go to are occupied, and technically the homeowners aren't there, but sometimes the people that are working on the house, or like I just don't want the realtor guy to think that I don't know, that I can't afford it. I like to dress like an adult in the most, I don't know, adult way possible, I guess? I don't know. I don't wear like I don't wear like a dress with like a harness on or something. I wear like lace, or yesterday I wore a white little pinup dress with black cats on it. And also today I'm going to use the Bounce Foundation from Beauty Blender because I haven't worn it in such a long time, even though it's beautiful. But this thing gets clogged a lot, so when you like use it for the first time in a while, there's like that chunk of dry foundation there that's always a pain to get out. It's kind of gross. So basically, you know, I try to dress professionalist, even though it doesn't matter what I look like because, you know, we already have a pre-approval. They know we're serious, you know, but I don't know. I just feel like it's something I do. Like I'm going to work or something. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. We went and saw two houses. No, we saw one house last night. We're seeing two houses today. We were going to see two houses last night, but they already had a whole bunch of offers in, and we would have to have that offer in that night. And that wasn't going to happen. You know, like you have 3 hours to go see this house and get an offer in. I'm like, no thanks. We'll just skip that one. Too much pressure. So we're going to see two tonight. The house we saw last night was great. The house itself, even though I don't like fake sticker stuff that looks like stone. I don't really like that. They had that on the front of the house, which was kind of weird. The house itself was nice, so they'd redid all the floors. The bathrooms were gorgeous, you know. Since we're not going to get this house, I'll put pictures on the screen of it. We went and saw that. So the house we saw was nice, right? The only things that made me uncomfortable were the just amount of people there that were working on the house. And then they're talking about things like drainage from the backyard to the front yard and stuff, blah, 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 because that side of town tends to flood more often, just because we live in Florida and that's how it is. And I'm like, don't know what you're talking about. There was just a bunch of people there, and I was uncomfortable because, like, if I want to, like, examine something and see if I want to live in it, I don't want a bunch of people watching me do it. Like, I know you need to watch people because you're in a house you don't own and stuff, but, like, that's what a realtor there is for. I don't need, like, 4 people wanting compliments on the work they did on the floors. I don't need that in my life. Also, I used the KVD concealer, the new one I reviewed, and I'm using the OPV setting powder from BoxyCharm. It was BoxyCharm this month. It's a little yellow, but it's okay with this foundation combination. So the house itself was nice. They had bathroom floors that were beautiful. Since we're not going to buy the house, I'll put pictures on the screen. I think I said that already. It was really pretty. The bathrooms were gorgeous. Like the nicest interior of the houses we've seen yet. Like it is all like fake stuff. Like the floor is super, super sticker shiny. And everything. But the inside of the house looks beautiful. Like it's definitely the prettiest house we've seen. Because we've seen a lot of stuff I would be scared to stay in for the night. Even with the doors locked. But the house itself was nice. The issue is the area. Okay, I'm okay with a little bit of a rougher neighborhood, you know, because that's just the only way you're going to get a house these days, honestly, unless you can afford, like, rich people places, which, no. A little bit of a rougher neighborhood, you just put a little extra security on and just hope for the best, it seems like, which I was okay with that, especially the kind of areas I want to live in is, like, you know, a good little block or two of nice stuff, and then you go around the corner, and it might be kind of shady, but that's okay, you know? You gotta look for the positives. There's some nice stuff there too. But this one, we pull it to the driveway. It's a ton of cars in the driveway because, again, people are working on it and stuff. And I get out of the car to meet the realtor and everything. And there's just this dog and this, like, there's a fence, see the neighbor's house, you know, beside it? We parked beside the fence. And there's this dog on a chain, yip, yapping, yip, yapping. You have dogs, they're gonna bark, I get it. But oh my god, it was so yippity yappity because they had it on such a short leash. It made me feel bad, so I wanted to set the puppy free. You know? And then the house on the other side, you couldn't see if there was grass or dirt in that yard because there was so much junk in the yard. Now, I am here, like, I don't want an HOA. I don't want people to tell me what I can and cannot do in my own yard. If I want to have a skeleton on my front porch all year long, I'm going to have a skeleton on my porch all year long. You're not going to tell me otherwise. You know? So I don't want an HOA. But the city should be called on that house next door because there was I literally could not tell you if there was dirt or grass in that yard. It was so bad. There was like literal toilets and sinks and junk and car parts and trash and all kinds of stuff just piled all over that yard, all against the fence to the yard that the house we were viewing. The house itself was nice, had plenty of space, because it had a garage in it, which was nice because it's extra space. It doesn't count the square footage of the house. And it had a yard, which I do want a yard. Which is why we look in some not the greatest areas, you know? But the neighborhood, like, I can't have dog abuse because you putting a dog on a really short chain and letting it sit out in the yard is abuse to me. Like, you can have a dog outside if you want. But when you put it on such a short chain, that's abuse to me. They need to be able to move. If they have to poop, they're pooping exactly where they are because they can't go anywhere else. Like, I can't live next to that. I will cry and sob and set the dog free and go to jail. And then the junk in the yard next to it is like, this is how you treat your yard. I know the inside of your house is probably garbage. There's probably bugs coming across the yard. And they're probably noisy people. And there might have been a drug house across the street. It was a little sketch, but the inside of the house looked beautiful. So don't think I didn't consider it for like the first hour or two after leaving. Because I did. Because the inside looked beautiful. But the bedrooms were small. And then the area just made me say like, no. Because if you live here forever, it's just, I need to feel safe, okay? I've lived my whole life just trying to survive. I need to feel a little bit safer if we buy a home. So yeah, that's off the list, I think, now. And then I keep stalking that house that really, really desperately wanted my little 98-year-old cottage that was supposed to be my house and someone else got. It keeps flipping back and forth between under contract and pending. Whatever that means, you know? But yeah, so that one's still gone. It's sad. I'm hoping one day just gonna pop up back up on the market and I can snag it real quick, you know? But yeah, we're gonna go see two houses today. This first one we're gonna see is brick on the front, which is beautiful, but the back is concrete block. It's a little bit odd, but like, hey, if the front looks brick, we're in there, you know? Like, that's Fallon to me. The thing we really want is a screened in room, whether we have to build one, if there's a concrete slab in the backyard, or whatever. We want a screened in room for the cats. Like, y'all can call me a crazy cat person all you want. You're probably right. But something that's really important to us is having more space for not only our junk, because we got a lot of junk, is the cats. Like, I feel like our cats love outside time. They love when we open the doors, and we have a screened in patio so they can go in and out whenever they please, because we have like a little a door for them to leave out of. They can go in and out anytime they want, and their litter boxes outside. Well, and we have one inside too, but they're big giant litter boxes outside, and they like just going outside, especially at night, and just watching everything around, and they just like the ice out and the fresh air. And I will not buy a house if there's not a possibility my cats can get fresh air whenever they want. Yeah, sure, I could open the windows, but I can't open the windows all the time, all year long. Like, it's not good. And it's not good for your air conditioning bill either. So we want a screened in room or like a sunroom. So that's been really important to us. Anytime we see one, we like kind of star that house because it's just important. We also know that if you just have a concrete, like, a concrete thing when you walk out your back door where people put their grills and stuff, we could frame that in ourselves and give them like a little screened in room. And I feel like that's important for them, so it's important for us. Crazy cat people. So that's all we've really been looking for. We want good square feet. It looks like about 1,400, 1,500 is about the square feet that most houses are, without being like ridiculously priced, you know, or falling apart. So that's the kind of range we're looking at. I would like more personally, I would prefer like 2,000 square feet just because we do have a lot of stuff. But if we have a good backyard, we could always add on to the house later if we could afford it. So that's something I keep in mind too. I'm not looking for the world. I'm just looking for an accepted offer on something I can tolerate and not in a terrible area. It's sad these days, you guys. Like, the house that we were going to see last night that already had multiple offers in had been on the market for 2 days. 2 days. And that's just crazy. They had 5 offers, I think he said, already. So, yeah. Anything that has, like, good, clean, bright walls, I've noticed, is leaving the market immediately, like, going. Like, it's selling. Anything that has a pool also really sells in Florida, which is weird to me, because you live next to the freaking water. Why you need a pool in an area literally called, like, Riverside or Jacksonville Beach, one of those sides of town, and you have a pool in the backyard, sells immediately for whatever you're asking for. But I understand, because you're literally like 5 minutes away from water. And then if you have a pool in your yard, you don't have room for activities. The pool takes up most of your yard most of the time. I don't understand. You can't have room for a shed. What if you need to mow your lawn? There's no room for a shed in there. You better hope you have a garage. I hate pools. Not for me. Like, a pool dip could be refreshing or whatever. I'd rather have room for more junk in my yard. Like a shed for, like, seasonal decor I can put away or something. Or a screened-in room or a fire pit. I really want a fire pit. You're not supposed to have fire. Like, huge fires in city limits and stuff. Which I understand, so you gotta follow the regulations. But I want a fire pit. It's something I grew up around, and it's something I enjoy, and I love this way fire smells, you know? So that's what I would like. And then we also have to get a new grill. Which I liked our old grill. However, our apartment said it was a fire hazard, even though everyone else has them. They just don't like us. So we had to get rid of it, which is unfortunate. But we kept the propane tank just in case we get a new one. For my eyeshadow today, I'm going to use the Shadow Kiss palette from Alter Ego. You can use code Porcelain if you want to save money on it. It's a dupe for Natasha Denona's Glam palette. But I don't have Natasha Denona money, nor would I give her my money, because this works really well. You know, like, it's a really good palette. I use it all the time. I'm using the Vanish and Shade shades for just my crease area. It's just the easy go-to palette when I don't want to think about what I'm doing, honestly. It's one of my favorites for that reason. And when I'm going to, like, an adult thing, I don't put on a dramatic eye usually. But yeah, we don't really look for much. I don't really like pools. I'd rather have more storage. I hate having things out. Like, unless they're decorative. I love decorative stuff everywhere, obviously. But, like, I don't want my pans hung on the kitchen wall. I want a pantry. I want, you know, to put everything away. I don't want to look at everything. I hate, like, pantries where you don't have a pantry. You have no choice. You have to put, like, your cans and stuff on shelves and it's just in your room. I hate that so much, you know? But hopefully the 2 houses we're going to go see today will be nicer. They're a little farther out than we wanted. It's quite a ways away from anything good. It's probably 10, 12, maybe a little bit more away from, like, a grocery store. Which is kind of inconvenient in the city because usually everything is kind of lumped together, and if you're not next to those things that are lumped together, it's a little inconvenient. Door dashing food might be a little, at one of the houses, which is a little farther out. The other one's, like, okay farther out. Still, like, 10 minutes away from stuff, but a little closer. Other one's probably, like, 15. I like being next to stuff. Like, right now where I live, I'm pretty close to several things that I like. And I like the convenience of it, but there's also no houses for sale over here. Like, it's not a place where there's just, like, house communities. There's, like, a townhouse community nearby and a lot of apartments on this side of town. It's just not a side of town where people buy homes. And I think it's just because it's more of a newer side of town and there's just no old, developed neighborhoods around here. Which kind of sucks, but I will adapt to whatever side of town we eventually live in. As long as I can order Japanese food. Like, there's this place called Bento. I love Japanese food, first of all. Like, any hibachi places, any Japanese food in general. But, like, Bento has, like, delicious noodle bowls. And I love it so much. And Pow Pow, don't get me started on Pow Pow chicken. It was so good. Like, I could literally eat Japanese food every day of my life and be perfectly content. And then Cortland complains when we have it twice a week. Like, that's a good note. Like, I need it all the time. And he's like, we already had homemade ramen and then we ordered Japanese food one week. I'm like, or this week already. I'm like, well, it's a little different. One was rice and one was noodles. So I don't know what you're complaining about here, sir. He never has any input on what he wants for dinner. But when I'm talking about ordering Japanese food again, he has something to say then. Which I guess is fair. Like, there's some things I would be tired of eating all the time. Like, I love curry, I love Indian food, but I couldn't eat it every day. I feel like I would just get really bored. So maybe that's how he feels about Japanese food, but that's something I cannot relate to whatsoever. So things other than house hunting that have been going on and me wanting Japanese food constantly, it's not been much. We did go to the antique extravaganza this weekend on Sunday just because, you know, I really wanted to get out of the house. I was kind of in a slump. And then I got a bunch of blow molds and stuff, which I'll leave the video link down below, like my haul, and I cleaned them up and we refinished them and everything. That was a fun video to do because it was a little different. I knew that was not going to be a very popular video, not a very searchable video. But I had fun with it. So that's all that really matters, right? So I got a bunch of blow molds. Those are super cute and super fun and I love them very much. And they're hard to find for Halloween stuff, honestly. They used to be everywhere. Now you can't find them unless they're like little tiny ones. So I was glad I got those. And then my husband signed up for more classes for school. I'm hating it. It's going to be the death of me. I get very lonely as it is, especially with him having one class a night that he gets home. It starts at 5:30 and then he's working on that till 8:30 at night. I get lonely them nights one day a week, but now he's going to have that 2 days a week at least. One class doesn't even have it scheduled yet, but he's already 2 days a week he's going to have nighttime classes, and that makes me sad to my soul because I'm going to be lonely. I got to be quiet and good and mind my business, and it's hard. I spend all day alone. I want to spend time with him when he's home. I don't know how to say this. Believe in the need for college. I don't believe it's necessary whatsoever. It's not for some people. It was not for me. And I feel like there's a ton of fields that you can succeed in by starting in that field and growing from there without the need for college. Because I tell you what, even if you go to college for some stuff, they're like, we want 3 years experience. You gotta start somewhere, you know? But all these things can be like, you need a 2-year degree and 3 years experience. Well, who's gonna give you that first year of experience on the job? School was not for me, and I feel like I would, if I had a child, I would never pressure them to be like, you have to go to college. My more concern would be, what do you want to do? And go from there. I feel like people who pressure people into like, you have to have college or you're nothing is not fair. It's not an environment for some people, and I found it very toxic myself. So, you know, also I'm tired of, I'm tired of Twitter posts and TikToks and stuff I see where people are like, on the grind. I work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, blah, 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 blah. And if that's something you're passionate about and you are comfortable doing, that's great. But I also, for someone who doesn't know when to stop working myself, find it very toxic for some people that they are spreading like, you have to do this in order to be successful. I'm successful and I do 18 hours a day. That kind of mentality to me, just don't burn yourself out. Don't burn yourself out. If they're the ones comfortable with doing that and working that much every day, that is wonderful. I work a long time, longer than I should some days. Sometimes I'll get up and I'll be working from like 8:30 to 9:30 at night. And, you know, that works for me at my own pace. But I would not say like, you have to work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week to do anything in life. You better hustle, get on that grind, rise and grind, blah, 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 blah. Like, it feels toxic to me. You need to enjoy your life. Not everything should just be like, hustle, you're not making it. It's just, I don't understand that mentality. Like, I'm someone with a good work ethic. I like working. It makes me happy, but I'm also working for myself. Someone who says, like, you need to go to your 9-to-5 job and give them 130% to rise in the company. No. Give them what they pay you for. And you know what? I was giving companies years ago way more than they were giving me, and it wasn't beneficial. So companies don't care about you. Give them what they're paying you for and nothing else. You're on a side hustle, definitely make it work, but do not burn yourself out, especially if you're in a creative field. Like, I have a small business, and a lot of the times I'll be working on stuff and I'll forget how long I've been working on it, and then at the end of it I'm like, I hate it because I spent too much time hyper focused on it and nothing else. So I would say pace yourself. And these rise and grind people, if it works for them, that's great, but don't feel like you have to live that life either. And if you're working for a company that doesn't care about you, because most companies don't give them more than they're paying you for. Like, I know so many times when I went above and beyond. Like, I worked at a thrift store for 3 years. Many of us know this. And 3 years doesn't seem like a long time. But it was full time. People kept quitting, so it was such a terrible job and it was disgusting. They wouldn't let us wear gloves. That's a whole another thing. Until this day, I still think about things in a different light because of it. But it got down to the point where there was 2 employees and 1 manager. So a regional manager would take over on the days whenever the regular manager got off. And then it was just 2 employees, 2 full-time employees. So if the store was open, we were there. And then I was the employee, and then the other one went on maternity leave. So it was me as the only full-time employee that was not management, right? Well, and I was busting my butt doing the job that used to be 6 people. It used to be 6 people running the store, doing all this stuff. And then it was 2 of us, and then when they went on maternity leave, it was just me. And I was busting my butt, trying to prove to them, like, look, I'm doing all I can, doing the most. And then the actual literal day, 2 hours after that girl came back from maternity leave, they fired me. They're like, oh, Bridget, you did such a good job running the store by yourself. We know we don't need 2 employees now. And I lost my job. Now, I got unemployment for a while, which is great because I could not find a job anywhere else in that small town I was in. But it devastated me because I put my heart and soul into running everything and doing everything myself to make everything proficient and good and clean and organized. And then that happened. So I will never give a company more than they give me ever again. Also, while I have you here, let's talk about if I'm the asshole. I've seen a couple of those posts where it's like, am I the asshole? And I want your guys' opinion. I feel like you made it this far into the video. You might, you kind of get me. You kind of know my vibe. I want to know if I'm the asshole for wanting my husband to get rid of his motorcycle. Am I the asshole? Okay, so hear me out. Everywhere we have to go includes highway. Very busy highway, a lot of trucks because it's like an interstate. And it's dangerous. It's not like you're just going down the street to like Target or something. It's not like you're going down to the street to the grocery store. Anytime he goes to work, he has to go on the interstate, and it terrifies me. It's like 4 lanes, 5 lanes of traffic on each side, and it's scary. And you're in a motorbike, and he won't wear a helmet. He'll wear a helmet once in a while, but he won't wear a helmet most of the time. He's like, I just want to feel the wind in my hair. I'm like, first of all, you drive this thing like 4 times a year, maybe 8 max. 4 to 8 times a year maximum, which really is not that often, but it scares the living hell out of me. And then you won't wear a helmet because it's not required by law in Florida if you have insurance, which it should be required by law to wear a helmet. That just seems like common sense to me, but Florida's the Wild West around here. So you're not required to wear a helmet. Am I the asshole because he won't agree to wear a helmet? He only uses it a couple times a year anyway, so it's not like he's using it constantly. It's not like it's the main form of transportation. Am I the asshole for telling him that I would like him to get rid of it. It would make me way more comfortable and way happier if he would get rid of it. I've also asked when he rides it to text me that he survived on the way to work. And he doesn't do it. He's like, I just forgot. Every single time. It's very annoying. So am I the asshole for wanting my husband to live? Or, you know, the odds of him living are better because he's not driving a motorcycle without a helmet on the interstate. Am I the asshole? Because we got in a very heated argument about it the other day and we're good now. But it's really been bugging me, like, why does he think I'm wrong for it? So I'd love to know your opinions on it, but quite frankly, like, I don't want him to have it. He doesn't ride it that often, it's just getting in the way. We live in an apartment complex, so, you know, you're just taking up a parking space for something you don't drive. But like a couple times a year, I think he might have driven it 4 times last year, maybe 8 times the year before. He has not driven it once this year so far. He has not driven it since we've been in this new apartment, which has been 6 months. He doesn't drive that often, but when he does, he scares the living hell out of me. And he works like half an hour away. And you're on the interstate, full of traffic, in prime time hours. Half an hour here, half an hour back. Am I an asshole for thinking that he shouldn't have that? If he's not going to wear a helmet? Hi, yeah, editing me here to add in one extra thing. He's already been in one motorcycle accident where it got totaled before, and he only survived because he jumped off of the motorcycle just in time. He knows this is dangerous, and he's almost died already once. I've even asked, like, can you wear a helmet? And he said no. And then I'm like, can you just, like, not go on the interstate? Can't you just, like, go down the road to some, you know, do errands and stuff? No, because apparently I'm restricting him. It was really frustrating. And I know people say don't put your marital problems online, but we're good. It's just been something that's been on my mind since then because it was just really irritating to me. Because, like, I want him to survive. I don't want him dead. I need him. But he thinks, like, if I make him wear a helmet or something, it seems like he's scared of stuff, and he's not scared of anything. I'm scared for him. You know, like, he said he doesn't want to live his life in a bubble. I'm like, well, it'd be a very secure bubble if you put me in charge of it. But anyways, let me know. I'm going to pop on lips, and I'll finish on my face. I'll be right back. I feel like I've been rambling on for a long time. Okay, so this is my finished look. It's just easy. You know, not something I have to think about too often. Is what it is. I didn't want a super cool tone lip and maybe look more morbid, especially with this Victorian black dress and everything. But let's talk about this motorcycle thing. One last thing. It's on my mind, you guys. When I was putting my lips on, I thought about it even more. I was like, what? You know what really set me off the most the other day? Maybe the most mad about the motorcycle thing is we had just talked about how we need to cancel our tattoo appointments. I only had one more tattoo appointment, so I'm done with my arm because I needed this filled in, and we had to book out months in advance anyways for the tattoo artist availability. So we were talking about we get to cancel our next tattoo appointments, which was fine. I was like, okay, so be it. You know, I wanted to finish this one thing, but, you know, we're buying a house that's really expensive and everything. And then we talked about getting a cheaper house and just, you know, fixing up over time if we could, because we don't want as many people putting in high offers and stuff, you know, and closing costs is really expensive and everything. So we were talking about we should save money. We're going to cancel our tattoo appointments. We're not going to get Universal tickets. We thought we were going to get Universal tickets. Like, it's like $300 to both of us. And then we have, like, I think it's like $15 a month. Monthly thing for, like, a Florida resident. It's pretty good prices. And then it's, like, something we can do and not spend a lot of money during the weekends and stuff. So technically, when we spend a couple $100s, we probably save a lot in the long term because we're not out just spending money around town and stuff. So we said we should do that. And then he said, no, we need to save money. And then he bought 2 brand new tires for the motorcycle that he hasn't driven in, like, 8 months. Set me over the edge because we have to cancel things we set up a long time ago. We can't do the one thing we said we're going to do together that wouldn't cost us much money and will save us money long term, and then you buy motorcycle parts. Threw me over the edge, you guys. So bad. So I think that's one other thing that just tipped me over with it. I'm just so over the motorcycle. So over it. Like, you can't even let me know that you're alive when you get to work. Oh my god. Anyways. Sorry. Again, my marriage is fine. We are fine. It just really got to me, and I figured we could just talk about it because I feel like a lot of you guys get me. I feel like a lot of the times when I get messages or comments and stuff from you guys, you know what what I'm about and stuff. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I feel like I vented. I feel like we talked about the house stuff, and I'm hoping today when we go see 2 houses that they're good. At least one of them is worth putting an offer in on, and one got listed this morning. So we had one set up. We set up one last night after we left the other house that was nice but in a crap area. And then one got listed this morning. We added onto the listings nearby. So since one came out today on the market, I'm hoping that one's the better one of the 2 we see because that one's fresh and I can put an offer in first. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Wish me luck, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys. Have an awesome day, and you can check out my shop, theopencurve.com, link down below. I had to do it. Sorry. Okay, bye. So, turns out, we got ready for nothing today because they sold one of the houses we were going to view in like an hour. They got a cash offer and accepted it. And then the other house we were going to go see, they decided they don't want to do any showings till the weekend, even though we already scheduled it for today. Because it went on the market today and they said they could do showings. Now they're not going to do showings until the weekend. So that means so many other people are going to see this house. We're both upset. I'm devastated.